To my mind, the Parker 850 Voyager is the spiritual successor of the American, 25 to 27 foot sports cruisers that we used to sell and still do sell quite a lot of. So if you like that type of boat, I'm thinking things like Doral Monticello, Regal 2665s, Maxim 2700s, Rinker 280s, all that type of stuff. They were great boats because you could sleep 4 people downstairs. They had a separate toilet and shower compartment. They had a little galley in them, but they were still small enough and sporty enough to launch and recover off a trailer if you wanted to, chuck them around, do a bit of water sports and things like that. This Parker 850 Voyager is like the more modern version of that. So if you really like that style of boat, or maybe you own something like that and you kind of want to stick with that size, but you'd like to get into something fresher, those boats don't really exist anymore, but this is the successor to it. This is a 4-berth sports cruiser with full cooking facilities, full toilet facilities on board, great layout, stacks of performance as well, and this one is absolutely packed to the gunnels with gear and equipment. It's a 2022 boat, commissioned October 2022, first put into service in 2023. So it's had 3 seasons of use. It's got 76 hours on the clock. It presents just like a new boat, and it has virtually every option on it as far as I can tell. So it has the cabin heater, it has an electric anchor windlass, it has shore power system, hot water, a Wallace diesel fired stove, it has all the sun pad cushions, camper covers, tonneau cover, you name it, this boat has it, and it's in fabulous condition throughout. So we're going to take a walk around it now, show you the condition that it's in, show you all the features inside it, and hopefully help you to figure out whether it might be the right boat for you. The 850 Voyager looks really sleek. From a distance, you could be mistaken for thinking it's a big sports cuddy, because that's kind of what it looks like, but whenever you're up close to it, it's a big boat. So particularly in the showroom here, it's a huge big boat, over 27 foot long, has a beam of like 9 foot 2 inches, so big beamy boat, and very imposing when you see it on a trailer like this, and also in the marina. It really looks the part, but they've done a great job of keeping the lines really sleek. I love the black surround on the windscreen frame. It looks the part. This nice big black hull side window as well looks really smart as well. But yeah, and this one's in beautiful condition, super low hours, and it's been kept on the River Bann here in the north of Ireland, so that's been fresh water. The owner would have went out to the sea every now and again, but every time he's come back into the marina, it's been back through fresh water, so it's sort of flushed the engine through with fresh water, and the boat presents like a freshwater boat. So beautiful stainless steel bow rails. Got this nice stainless steel anchor roller, recessed anchor in there. There's an electric anchor windlass on this as well. You've bow rails are open at the front, so you can board over the bow if you're tied nose to in the marina. Finished in black anti-fouling paint, which we've refreshed around the waterline, but you can see the underlying condition of the paint is pretty much perfect anyway. This boat's fitted with a bow thruster, which means the handling around the marina is very straightforward, very easy to get to grips with. Beautiful hull side windows. You see into the cabin there, perhaps. We'll take a proper look in there, obviously when we get on board. Got a nice black pinstripe. It's a twin-stepped hull, which helps it get up on plane. This boat is a flying machine. We do have a separate sea trial video, which you can check out, but it's on the plane in a heartbeat, and those steps, those twin steps, really help the boat get up on plane quickly, and it helps it run more efficiently. It basically reduces the wetted area of the hull whenever the boat's underway, so you get less drag, less resistance, gives you better performance and better fuel efficiency as well. Nice black PVC insert on the rub rail, complements the black hull side windows and the black windscreen. You got nice 850 Voyager raised black gel letters, Parker badge there as well. Chunky handrails and cleats at the stern, and coming all the way to the stern corner, the condition of that hull there is perfect. You see it's got this huge swim platform area around that Mercury 350 Verado. The hull is pretty much unmarked all the way around. You've got this D-ring so you can recover it onto a trailer. This is one of our yard trailers, so it's not actually included with the sale of the boat, but you can, with the D-ring, you can put this boat on a trailer if you wanted to for winter storage or something. Starboard side of the hull is mint as well, absolutely immaculate condition all the way around. Bow thruster looks great, hull bottom looks great. Hull side windows on this side as well look the same as the port side. Bow rails are in great condition. Windscreen surround, all your little, this is your chrome a wee bit of polish on that actually, but that's your chrome horn cover, tank vents. You've got your exhaust outlet for your Webasto heater here, VHF antenna. 850 Voyager and Parker badges are in perfect condition on this side, as is the stern corner on the starboard side as well. You get this nice fold out 4-step stainless steel antique bathing ladder that stores neatly in this compartment here. This is also where you get your fuel fill point and a waste pump out point, so you can, if you're filling from a jerry can or something, you can set it here, and any spills are going to be contained in this area. You probably want to plug that hole so they don't drain overboard, but yeah, it's an easy cleanup if you do have any wee drips whenever you're filling it with fuel. So exterior is mint, absolutely. Look at the transom. It's dominated by the Mercury 350 horsepower Verado. Beautiful engine this. First registered in October of 2022. So you'll have, if you keep up with date with your service, and that warranty on that will run until October 2027. So potentially another 2 seasons warranty. It's got the advanced midsection engine with electric steering. Really sophisticated piece of kit this. Swinging a 3-blade stainless steel prop, which is a 15 by 15 inch pitch. And if you check out our sea trail video, you'll see exactly how this pushes this boat on, but there's a full sea trail video of this boat to show you how quickly it's on the plane in a heartbeat, and it's a flying machine. Whenever you open it up, it really does tramp on, but it's very relaxed, cruising around about 20-25 knots and economical at that speed as well. You've got these hydraulic trim tabs, or electro hydraulic trim tabs, so you can control the running angle of the boat from left to right whenever you're underway. And we've got a depth transducer for a big screen Simrad plotter that's on board, and also your speed transducer for your Mercury system. Needs a new set of anodes for getting in the water for next season, but engine anodes actually are still good, but probably change those as well. But other than that, below the waterline back here at the transom looks in very good condition indeed. So as I'm standing here on the top of our staircase to step into the boat, again, this gives you a sense of the size of this thing. If I was stepping on to like a Doral Monticello, I'd be at the same level, more or less, but this one is a good step up. So it's a big, chunky boat. I'm stepping up to get in and on board. The layout is quite traditional in many respects, similar to what you'd find on those old school 25, 27 foot American sports cruisers, but this thing is much more configurable. You know, it's a lot more flexible. There's all sorts of different ways you can fold seats. There's clever storage locations all the way around it, and it's just really cleverly thought out and nicely executed. It has this soft teak decking throughout, beautiful teak table, Silvertex grey upholstery complements the teak and the black accents all the way around. A nice dark grey dash as well, cockpit wet bar on the starboard side, huge U-shaped seating area on the port side with a flippable backrest on that forward L-shaped seat. You've got nice details like this Parker black section at the back with the Parker logo and things, and then a fabulous cabin downstairs. So I'm going to walk you around the whole boat and show you each area in detail, but we'll start back here. Shore power connection points, so a full shore power system on board with battery charger and an onboard heater, water heater. In there you've got all these hatches lift up on gas struts. You've got good storage for dock lines and fenders in there, so it keeps them clear of the deck inside. Little recessed LED lights dotted around here so you can illuminate the swim platform area after dark, and there's stacks of room to walk across in front of the engine. If you're swimming off the boat or doing water sports, there's stacks of room to move around back here. You've got a nav light, anchor pole light will go in there, water fill point here, handrails conveniently located all the way around as well. This little hatch folds up, so if you want to trim the engine up out of the water, you just fold that up, gives room for the engine to trim up, and it can live out of the water, which is kind of the way all the modern boats are going now for outboard power, largely because of the maintenance advantages. You know, they're so much easier to maintain and live with than older inboard engines, and you also gain a lot more space inside the boat as well. One of the big benefits is that you can trim them up completely out of the water, so even if you're using the boat in the sea, your engine's not going to be sitting corroding all the time. Hydraulic hoses and control cables going through those neat cable glands there, access down into the lower bilge for maintenance if you need it. And this little cutout here actually is for a ski pole, so This boat doesn't have this option, but you could retrofit a ski pole in there as well if you wanted a nice ski pole for if you are planning to do a lot of water sports. Over here we have a transom shower. Pull out transom shower, hot and cold water. There's another fuel fill point there, so maybe that is where you actually put the petrol in and not there. I was wondering why that one said diesel. Maybe that's for the heater. That makes more sense. So maybe you fill your diesel in there for your heater, and this is the fuel filler. You need to double check that. That's important to get that right before you put any fuel in this thing. We've got this nice little transom gate here, so you can remove this all together, or you can leave it open or closed. So good for keeping kids and pets in the boat. And a nice walkway. The deck is all single level as well, and there's no steps or anything to trip over. And then this U-shaped seating area is huge. Stacks of room around this folding teak table, so you can have the table set up. You'll easily accommodate 6 people or so around this table for drinks or picnics or eating your meals. You can fold it out of the way, it gives you more space. You've still got 4 cup holders integrated into it as well. You can remove the table altogether, and this area converts into a big sun lounger. I'll put those sun pad cushions in position in a wee while and show you what they look like as well. One of the really neat features is this seat back rest here can be folded forward. So if you want to sit swimming off the back of the boat, if you want to sit and watch the water sports action that's going on behind it, you can easily accommodate 3 or 4 adults across the stern bench in this position, and it just turns this whole back end of the boat into like a bit of a beach club type area. But whenever you're sitting and eating, or whenever the boat's underway, or if you've got the camper covers up on a colder day, you can sit facing forward around the table. This cushion also rotates both directions, so you can either maximize this lounging space around the table, or you can sit facing forward, turn this into a nice L-shaped lounger right up beside the helmsman. So whenever the boat's underway, you can accommodate 3 or 4 people up here looking through the windscreen and chatting to the helmsman whenever you're on longer passages. You will do your cooking on the boat up on deck, which I think makes more sense than downstairs. The vast majority of people never cook downstairs in these smaller sports boats, largely because you then have the smell of cooking in the whole cabin and living area. Whereas if you're cooking on deck, you can have the covers open, it's just a nicer place to prepare meals. And with that in mind, you have this great little galley wet bar setup. So decent enough size sink with hot and cold running water. You've got a Wallace diesel fired stove on this one, so a twin ring stove. So you've got that stove no matter where you are. You don't have to be plugged into shore power for that to work, which is great. You got this little reflective heat plate. It looks like it has never been used actually on this boat. Plenty of storage then down below as well. Pull out storage drawers for storing odds and ends. You've got more storage, like what would class as galley storage, downstairs as well. And then you've got a decent sized drawer. I think this is a 40-litre drawer fridge onto the seat here, so that pulls way out. So you got your fridge convenient to your wet bar galley area up on deck here as well. So going to be enough to prepare the odd picnic or meal while you're on board for a long weekend, or maybe the odd week away on the boat. The boat has a full set of camper canvas covers. This is the roof section, and then we've got a forward screen, side screens, and an aft curtain, so you can fully enclose this whole area. There's also heater outlets up here on the dash. I wonder, and there's one there at the helmsman's feet as well. So with the heater running, you can heat this whole area as well. So yeah, it's a really good headroom under this. Now what I will do is we'll put all the covers up and I'll do a quick video, but I'm 5'10" and I've got at least, there's 2 or 3 inches of headroom clearance for me, and there's standing headroom even at the helm. So with the covers up, it obviously extends your living space. It's quite easy to take the sides out, and this whole section folds back and stows neatly below deck level, so you can have a fully open boat as well. I'll show you how that works now shortly, but what we'll do is when we drop the covers down, put the filler cushions in now, show you how that all looks, and then we'll pop them back up again and carry on with the tour. So with the sun pad cushion in position, you can see it's an absolutely massive sun lounger back here. You can fold the covers, the bimini top and the camper covers, fold completely out of the way and the track onto the floor. And you've got a totally open air boat with open air sun lounging area here in the aft cockpit. Similarly, if you had the camper covers up, you obviously got heater outlets in the cockpit space, and this becomes an additional double bed, so you can sleep another 2 people, and it's huge, big enough for 2 adults to sleep up here if you wanted to. So you can accommodate another 2 people sleeping in the cockpit on this big sun lounging space as well. If you're using this, if it's a nice day and you've got the covers out of the way and you're using this while the boat's underway, you can also have this flipped backwards, and then you've got your normal regular forward facing seat area up here, plus a spacious lounger that's big enough to stretch out on in the aft part of the cockpit as well. So when the bars are folded down and the bimini top is put away to make the boat totally open air, they store this rear seat hinges backwards, and the bars store basically below deck level and out of the way. So whenever you want to set the covers up, just fold that rear seat backwards, lifts up on a couple of gas struts, and then the whole frame folds out to create your flat roof that you can then zip all your front and side panels. And then when lifting the bars up out of their storage location, you have these gas struts on both sides which help you to lift it up, makes them very light for lifting up, and then they stay in this position to get your straps unwrapped, and then it's just a matter of pulling the bars, unwrap some of the fabric, and once the fabric's unwrapped, just pull the bars forward, and that's your roof section up. And then you can zip in, secure your straps, zip in the side panels. And then with this section, this area opened up, I'll just show you a few other things. It's basically maintenance access, service access. So in here, you've got your Mercury power steering pump and fluid reservoir. So that's where you can check your steering fluid levels. You have some little hooks here where you could possibly secure a few odds and ends of storage, or a few bits and bobs if you want to store stuff. This is a manual bilge pump to supplement the onboard electric pumps. This is access to your battery boxes underneath this lid. In here, a very small amount of storage, access to your fuel tank sender there. And then under this one, access to a seacock valve. I think that's coming from a deck scupper. I think it's coming from that deck scupper. And there's toilet pipes and things, and what's that? That's the seacock for the toilet feed. But it looks things down in there as well. So just service access, and everything looks really clean and tidy in there as well. And then more inspection hatches all the way across there for additional service access if needed. Finally, I should point out that if you are leaving your covers up and you don't need to be dropping the bars in and out of there all the time, then this becomes, even with this closed over, it becomes an absolutely cavernous storage space. So you could fire all sorts of gear in there. You get fenders, dock lines galore. You could even put in a little outboard engine and a tender, a roll-up tender would fit in there as well. Becomes like a huge big laserette area whenever the covers aren't in there. So that's all really good storage space for things, you know, bulky items that you don't want kicking around the deck. As well as the big storage compartment underneath the rear bench seat, we've storage underneath this side seat as well, and that's where you're going to find your battery isolator switches. So they're conveniently located in there. You've got a circuit breaker for your windlass, and you've got your shore power panel there as well. You can turn off and on your water heater and your battery charger. Dedicated storage spot for the table leg in these little holders here, and then you can, I think you can actually pop the table in there as well out of the way. So lots of clever storage positions all the way around. And then the other thing I want to show you is the storage underneath this compartment here. So this lifts up, you don't even need to remove the table actually to get it up. Another big chunky gas strut, and this is a nice deep storage bin too, so it's an easy access one. And you'll get lots of, you can fire dry bags, and you know, it's a dry locker anyway. You got a nice big chunky lip and a drain there, so you could fire in, you know, bags, overnight bags and all sorts of stuff, food, whatever, picnics into that compartment there. These seats here are fixed, obviously you've got the drawer lives underneath that, and then they provide headroom for the aft cabin. But between this huge cavernous area under the back seat, that big locker there, and the locker underneath that seat, you've stacks of storage, not to mention all the drawers and stuff in the galley. Access out onto the foredeck is via these molded in steps. So they're good sized steps. You probably do want to close the cabin door for safety whenever you're heading up here. And then this center section of the windscreen opens, big chunky windscreen, nice stainless steel cap over the front of it with integrated handrails, quite similar to that Windy over there actually. Another high-end boat, feels nice and chunky. And then this boat has the full foredeck sun pad cushions. Now these are huge, they absolutely cover the whole foredeck. Whether you'll use them or not, I don't know, but it's nice to have them. That is covering the foredeck hatch down into the cabin. If you remove the cushions, all the tread surfaces, they're all buttoned down here now, but they're all molded non-skid underneath here anyway, so you can safely walk out here, and it's quite a flat foredeck, but this is fantastic for additional sunbathing space. Got your LED nav lights, you've got these windows into the cabin as well, big chunky stainless steel cleats, and then anchor locker with electric anchor windlass, and stainless steel, lots of stainless steel chain on that as well. You control that windlass from the switch on the dash, so it's very easy to raise and lower your anchor. And as I said earlier, with those opening bow rails, you can hop off and on over the bow of the boat if you're moored bows too. But yeah, really spacious and usable foredeck. Windscreens are in great condition. You got wipers, pantograph wipers for clearing both sides of the screen on this, and you've got those heater outlets there for clearing the windscreen on colder days. Access into the cabin is via this lockable sliding door, and then we've got a couple of steps down in here, and this is where this boat really comes in its own. It's amazing how spacious this cabin is. So come downstairs, we've got a fixed berth up forward, and it's a huge big double bed up there, with this little seat or extra bed space to the side. You have these overhead windows, which we've got the curtains on at the moment. You'll not see anything because the cushions are on the foredeck as well. But you get this opening deck hatch, these roof lights, so if you have the foredeck cushions off and these curtains down, you've stacks of natural light in here, because you've also got these big, huge hull side windows on port and starboard side. There's curtains to screen those off at night time. You've got stacks of storage as well, all the way around, so literally every inch of space is used. Nice reading lights at the head of the bed, storage up on those wee shelves on both sides. You've got a heater outlet here, you have another heater outlet down here, so you can have this whole area nice and toasty at night time. There's storage drawers underneath the bed as well. You have 240 volt power sockets there, and they're UK style sockets, so that's handy. You don't need any adapters. Nice little low level LED lights, so you can have those on at night time as well. And I think the storage, yeah, big storage bins under the mattress as well. That's access down into the bow thruster motor. Look how clean it is. It's immaculate. This boat is like, it's basically like brand new. I would hazard to guess it's almost never been slept in. So great forward hanging locker here. So that's your wardrobe area. And then a couple of pull-out drawers. And all the drawers in the boat are nice and deep as well. You know, not little tiny drawers. They're quite big and easy to access. I like the steps down in with a stainless steel spine and the teak treads. And then you get good access into the aft cabin as well. And another huge double bed in there. You also have the port side window, so you get a bit of natural light in here. And it's almost the full beam of the boat. That's the filler cushions for the sun pad out on deck. And you have another reading light there. But yeah, very spacious aft cabin. So that's another double, so you'll sleep 4 people downstairs in the cabin in comfort. Heads compartment is on the starboard side, and it is beautifully finished off. So you got a nice glass bowl sink, solid Corian countertop, electric flush toilet with all your controls here for lights, fresh water pumps, toilet pumps. I think there's a macerator pump. There's a vent in here as well. You have this little pull-out shower. So that shower head pulls out That's in addition to your tap. So just regular tap plus a pull-out shower head. This whole compartment is lined and drained. There's a shower sump pump onto the stairs, so it pumps overboard. Nice hull side window in here with the curtains to close it off. Little mirror, a couple of wee towel hooks, heater outlet up in the corner, so this compartment is heated as well, and then storage in here as well. So again, making use of all the storage compartments. There's a 230-volt socket there for running a razor or whatever, and storage then underneath. So, and again, this compartment looks like new, zero smells, looks like if you were at a boat show, you know, that's the kind of feeling you get, that's like a brand new boat. And this is where the shower sump lives. That's also the depth transducer for the Simrad in there as well. But again, the maintenance access in around here is all good, and everything's really nice and clean and tidy. Another low level light in there as well. So great cabin, not quite as much headroom as you have outside, but I can still kind of stand up while stooped over a wee bit. But you've stacks of headroom at each of the beds and huge big long berths so you can stretch out and relax at night time. And now let's take a quick look at the helm station. So really nice bucket style helm seat with the flip up bolster. And a great helm position. There is a full sea trail video of this boat on our YouTube channel that shows how it runs underway. So I don't really need to talk about that. Check it out. It's a flying machine in short. But I can't remember how to walk through all the switches in the dash, so I will briefly run you through everything. When there's controls here, everything's working. Horn, bilge pump, freshwater pump, all the lights, various lights for these low-level cockpit lights, lights downstairs, all that sort of stuff, navigation lights. Windscreen wipers are both working. I think we had them running on the day of the sea trial because it was a bit wet. Bow thruster, you have your isolator switch for your bow thruster down there, and that's all working as well perfectly. So bow thruster control here, Fusion Bluetooth sound system, so you can run your tunes from your phone. Upgraded 12-inch Simrad chart plotter and fish finder, lovely screen. Integrates with the engine as well, so you get all your engine info through this also, if we can find out where all that is. But yeah, and audio controls as well. But yeah, so you can kind of control everything on the boat. Simrad integrates really well with the Mercury systems, but as well as that, you do have your Mercury SmartCraft instruments with your traditional analog style gauges, so you can see all your engine info at a glance here. It's 79 hours, I think I might have said 76 earlier, sorry, but 79 hours. Little cup holder here. Trim tab controls are on the joystick, which is really easy because a lot of times people get confused about whenever you have two separate switches and they don't know what up and down is, but this here is very simple. Joystick controls for your trim tabs, corrects your running angle when you're underway. Heater controls for your Webasto heating system, that's diesel fired with outlets in the cabin and up on deck as we saw. USB power points there. You've got your safety lanyard point here, digital throttle and shift, Simrad VHF radio also working. That's all. I'm not going to turn that on because it do a lot of beeping at us. A little bit of storage here where you can pop a wallet or a phone, and you get another charge point there beside it. There's your builder's plate, C category C, rated for up to 10 passengers plus gears. You can take big groups of people out on the boat. A little storage net, fire extinguisher, and a 240-volt socket there, which is conveniently located beside the little galley wet bar. So beautiful helm, really comfortable helm seat for longer passages, race foot rest, great visibility either through the screen when you're sitting down on the seat or over the top of the screen. There's room to stand at the helm. You have a tilt adjust on the steering wheel also. So a really nice helm, bang up to date, 79 hours on it, and it feels like a brand new boat. I like this fabric wrapped section, or feels like a fabric wrapped section in the front of the dash, and that's also gonna, looks the part, but it's also gonna reduce any glare on the screen on sunnier days. Over on the passenger side, you've obviously got this wraparound L-shaped seating in lieu of a sort of single passenger seat, but it's a more sociable setup, I think. You have this fabric wrap panel with a Parker logo on it, little lockable glove box there, a couple of cup holders and another heater outlet, so you can keep the screen clear on when cooler days if you're running with all the covers closed. And whenever you're sitting here, this is my eye line, so head is below the level of the windscreen. Good visibility out. You're seated more or less at the same level as the helmsman, and you'll get 2 or 3 people comfortably tucked up here in behind the windscreen. So even if you're running with the covers off, the wind's going to go over the top of your head, and you can have that conversation with the helmsman whenever you're underway. So I really like this boat. I think it's a beautiful boat. Feels nice and spacious. That 9-foot beam, you know, it's probably 6 or 7 inches, 8 inches wider than most older 25-foot sports cruisers, and you really feel it in here. You know, lovely boat to lounge around on, relax on, whether you're sitting in the marina having a few drinks around the table, or if you're on passage on a longer run around the coast. And this is what the boat looks like with the covers up. So it's a really good set of camper covers. They actually suit the boat well. They match, they follow the curve or the line of the windscreen at the front, the bow. So they're quite a sleek set of covers, but you've got full standing headroom underneath them. I think they were up in the sea trial video, so you know, and they work well even whenever the boat's underway. But you got the front section with the opening centerpiece. You've 2 side panels and then this rear curtain, and it comes all the way aft, so you don't lose any sitting headroom at the rear seat. You can easily roll the rear curtain up as well. So I'll just peek in here like this. But if it's a nice day, you can roll up and secure the rear curtain. And then, as I said, I'm 5'10", couple inches, so I'd say there's maybe just about 6 foot of clearance, headroom clearance. And because you've got the heater outlets up here, it basically turns this whole area into extra living space. And if you have people, you know, if you wanted to make up the sun pad and use it as a bed, you can kind of heat this area in the summertime as well. So good set of camper covers. And as well as this set of covers, there's also a flat tonneau cover, which is perfect for storage or for towing the boat on the road. So just wanted to show you what the boat looks like with the covers up and show you that they are in very good condition as well. So there you go, that's our Parker 850 Voyager. First launched in 2023 with only 79 hours on the clock. It's in immaculate condition, like a new boat, but with a huge saving over the price of a new one. This one I think is the best value one on the UK at the market. It's very seriously for sale. The owner's quite keen to change. We can also help you with part exchanges if you want to trade a boat in against it. We can help you with logistics of getting it transported to your home marina. If you want to arrange to come and see it, if you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. The best way to do that is by calling us on the number at the top of our website at gulfstreamboatsales.com, or you can fill out a callback request form and we'll contact you at a time that's convenient, or drop me an email to sales@gulfstreamshop.com. This is a beautiful boat. The spec is second to none, I think, with the soft teak decking, the heater, the anchor windlass, the bow thruster, the camper covers, the hot water system, the diesel fired Wallace stove, you name it, this boat has it. And it would make an excellent step up from somebody wanting to move up from an older, maybe less reliable 25 or 27 foot sports cruiser, or if you're fairly new to boating and you've started off with something small, a little center console or a sports bow rider or something, and you want to sample the cruising lifestyle, this boat's ideal, because you're still going to get the performance of a sports boat, but you have the accommodation to go away for long weekends or even a week on the water. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you like the boat as much as I do. Cheers.